Hey everybody, welcome back to Paracord Reviews. I know it's been forever, and I'm hoping to make up for that. But today, we're going to talk about, in my estimation, one of the most necessary tools for paracording right after paracording. Or paracord, I should say, and that is lighters. When it comes to joining paracords, especially multiple colors, many of us started out with just fusing the two together. God knows that's what I did. Until the Manny method came out, that's how everybody I know used it, or did it, is you take the lighter, melt it, fuse the two together, and hope to God that it stayed. Eventually the Manny method came out, and I think just about universally everybody uses that or some variation of it. And if you go back and you look, you'll see that I have a modified version that I use and recommend it. But once again, let's talk about lighters. A lot of people use different types of lighters. You have your standard Bic lighter. Pick this up at Walmart for about $2. You can get a cheaper version. I think it's called a clicker or a clipper. It's about $1. It works well. You have your butane lighter. In this case, I'm talking about a Ronson butane lighter. These will run about $3 to $5 depending upon the type of butane lighter you get. Some of the smaller ones, or if it's got patterns or anything like that, they can run more. I think this one ran me $3.50 at Walmart. Then you have Zippo and a tea candle. I'll explain why I lump these two together in a minute. But a Zippo lighter will run you anywhere between $15 to $20. Tea candles, honestly, you can pick up a pack of 10 to 20 of these at the dollar store for just that, $1. So why do I lump these two together? A Zippo and a tea candle give you a capability that the others don't. And we'll get into that in a few minutes. But first, let's talk about the lighters. Your Bic lighter is your standard go-to. Anybody who smokes, whether it be cigars or cigarettes or pipes, probably has or has had one of these. Heck, my parents kept one around just for the barbecue pit and the fireplace. So it's easy to light. Now the flame does flicker and move, and it's not a hot flame, which is great. It's a lot more difficult to burn yourself, and it will melt. You can see here it is melting the edge of the paracord just fine. One thing, this piece will get hot, and the other thing is, as you saw, the flame will bend. It always tries to go up. So that can get difficult whenever you're trying to melt your paracord. But for somebody starting in paracord, a Bic lighter is a great way to go. Ooh, got a little hot there. This is your butane lighter. Flame is a lot hotter. You can see with the blue, it burns a lot hotter, and you don't have the problem of the flame moving or arcing. It stays pretty straight based upon the angle you're at. So it's kind of like a jet lighter. Because it's hotter, it burns quicker, so you will melt a lot quicker. And in fact, as you can see, with less time, it actually caught fire and burnt that. So nice lighter, pretty easy. These are not throwaway lighters though. If you were to pick up one of these, you would also need to pick up some ultra butane fuel, something like this. And these will run anywhere between $5 to $7 at your local hardware store or Walmart or grocery store. Smoke shops may have them a little bit less, but between the two of them, you'll spend about $10 and you're set to go. Then you have your Zippo and your candle. Now the beauty of these is you can light them and you're good to go. With the Zippo, you open it up, you light it, and you can set it there. Same with the candle. You can, let's go ahead and light this. Now with both of them, you're going to get about the same type of flame. You're not going to get the super hot flame like you had with the butane lighter. You're going to have a flame that's more like this. With the Zippo, of course, your flame's going to be a little higher. With the candle, it's going to be a little lower unless you take out some of the wax. But once again, if you're trying to do something delicate, you can, you have the advantage of using both your hands. As you can see here, I can much more easily burn these two together. But you don't have as much control over the flame. And when I had to blow that out, I also blew out my candle. Now with a Zippo, if you have one of these laying around, they are much harder to blow out. They're wind resistant. The issues with Zippo, much like the butane lighter, you would have to get lighter fluid, and you also have to get flint. This one I can't use because it has no flint, and I don't have any butane lighters. This is a Cardinals represent. This is on my collection of Cardinals memorabilia, and I don't ever use this. But you get the point. So, which one's the best? This is an opinion, and it's only opinion. I will say this. When I first got really started, like the first thing I did, I used a Bic lighter. I was just getting started. This was laying around the house. I had it. It was easy. So, you know, for your weekend paracorders, for those who just kind of do it for fun on the side, those who maybe are working with scouts or something like that, this is a good, easy, decent way to go. It's a $2 investment. It'll last you quite some time. And once you're done, you throw it away. You're good to go. And as I said, you can go get a multi-pack of the really cheap ones for $5. And heck, if you're not a regular paracorder, that might last you a full year. So nothing wrong with this, but you do lose a control factor. With the candle method, when I started really getting into things and I needed the control, especially prior to the Manning method, I actually went this way. As I said, you go up to the dollar store, a Dollar Tree, something like that. You can get a multi-pack of tea candles for about $1. You set it on your desk, you light it, get you can get a big box of matches for $1. So for $2, you're set. You light the candle, you're good to go. You can work on it, you can join. You don't get the control though, and that's a big piece. You lose your control that you would get with, say, the butane. The other problem you run into is with these, it's got a metal holder. If you run, or if you have this sitting for a while, you will burn the bottom of your desk, your workbench, wherever you're working. So something to consider is you either need some type of pot holder or something to put it under so that it does not burn. Even an old rag, it may singe the bottom of that rag, but something to prevent it from hurting your work surface. The other problem you run into, as you saw, when this was on fire and I blew it out, I wound up blowing this out. So you may have to relight your candle. The last thing, the wax. You're going to get a lot of wax in here, and it can lead to spills. If you knock into it or anything like that, you're going to spill some wax. It can get a little messy. So something I have done is I found an old incense burner, and I actually was using that. So it was like a round kind of bowl, and it would sit in there, and the heat did not impact the incense burner, and that way any wax that may have come out, because sometimes these are cheap, they'll split, would just go into the incense burner. It was very easy to take care of. But since then, I have graduated to this. This is a Ronson. Now, they're made in China, but the company is owned by Zippo. It is very good, lighter. It's hefty, so it's actually a little bit heavier than the Zippo. You can see it's a little taller, not as wide. Thickness is about the same. Both open. And this one, now granted this is full and this is not, but this one, the thing I like is it gets really hot, so I don't have to use it very long. It's got the push button start, and it gives me control, so I can come at it from any angle. And because it's a lot hotter, I don't have to use it as long. It doesn't get hot. Now, it does have, like I said, it's a electric start, or it's a push button start, so there is a little battery in here. That will eventually go out. Some people will throw this away then. Others, you go up to Harbor Freight, get a thing of batteries, replace the battery in here, and continue on. As I said, you would need to pick up some butane fuel, but otherwise, if you are planning to, or think you're going to need, you're going to be doing a lot of paracording, this is a good investment. I've had this one for over a year now. I use the heck out of it. It's lightweight, it's hefty, but it's not heavy. It's lightweight, easy to use, and has given me very little problems. So I hope you found this video educational, and look for more. And as always, keep paracording. Take care, everybody.